everybody. It is October 7th, 8:10 a.m. Welcome to my channel. So this market's obviously being nuts. We had non-farm payrolls and unemployment data on Friday morning, and the non-farm payrolls were so much higher than expected, added so much more jobs than expected, and unemployment ticked down. So that initially from the news, which you never know what the market's going to do, that initially I thought would have made the market go down just because now the Fed doesn't have to cut as much. Um, but that feel like that's coming to more of a fruition over the weekend because now the 10-year yield is up to 4% yield, close to 4% yield, and um, I think that's rate cuts are going to be slower now, right? If unemployment went down and you're adding more jobs than expected, then that's why the 10-year yield is going up. So very interesting. And now we went up. Now, interesting what happened on Friday is we initially opened, went up, and then went right down all the way back, took all those gains back pre-market to then go right back and close towards the highs. So a pretty crazy market we're in right now. And then look, we couldn't even hold those highs, and we went all the way back down to a key level 5760, and now we're kind of like off the bottom. But this market right now I feel is in de-risk mode for the election, and I don't think any large players in these markets like institutions and banks and stuff like that are just going all out long before the election, because this market's not like trending. Like we make a move, then it gets taken back, and then we're back to like balance again. So so we have to see. All right. So without that lengthy explanation, welcome to my channel. My name is Steven Gonzalez. I use volume profile, market profile to find structure in the markets along supply and demand, gamma exposure levels, the most traded price of the year, the month, the week, and the previous day. That's my edge. That's how I look at the market. And hopefully you can join me every day at around 8:10 a.m. All right, have a cup of coffee, have a cup of tea, whatever you like in the morning. Let me bring you what happened on the recap of the previous day, or in this case Friday, and give you the news, the leaders and the laggards. Okay, and we go over some maybe upgrades, downgrades, and we take a look at the markets, right? And we look at the economic calendar. And then around 8:30, I call it the main event. I analyze the Nasdaq and the ES futures. That's where I come up with my game plan for the day, long and short trade scenarios. Okay, I do that live. I don't do any kind of game planning. I do it live. So we come up with those scenarios together, and then of course once the market opens, that's new data, and that's where my day trades come in. Okay. Now, if you enjoy my content, obviously smash that like button. Right now, those day trades. Okay, so I post educational day trades on my uh, on my X account, on my YouTube, right? With shorts, you can check out the shorts, and you can check out my TikTok account. Okay, so on X, that would be Gonzo at Gonzo719, and then on TikTok, that's at Gonzo719 Trader. All right, so you can check those out. I give you the detailed criteria of my day trades. Now remember, we do have a blueprint at 8:30 here, right? But then that blueprint, I take that into when the market opens, and that's when new data happens, right? That none of us know. So then that criteria is where I show you that on my channels, on my social media, right? You can check out the criteria. All right, so hopefully you do that. So why don't we get right into the futures watch list here and see what's going on here in the markets? All right, let's look at what's going on, what's moving, what's leading, what's lagging. All right, right now we have a VIX that is up 9.42%. It's over 21 VIX. So get ready for a nice moving market today. And the relative volume is pretty good too. Okay, now crude with Israel and Iran, or Iran, however you want to say it, crude is up 1.84%. It's up to $75 a barrel. All right, 75, 76, okay, dollars a barrel. So that's been moving pretty good. Ether's up 1.5, Bitcoin's up 0.82. The dollar is up. The dollar is up 0.61. That could mean the euro is down, the yen is down. 10-year yield has reached close to 4% yield. Now, basically, bond market is telling us, well, we just had good unemployment data. Rate cuts are not going to be aggressive. All right, so now that's what's happening with yields. Okay, gold is up 0.30, even though the dollar is up. Now you do have that geopolitical stuff happening, so we have to see. 30-year bonds, they're being sold. Okay, 30-year bonds are being sold, only down a little bit. Russell's down 0.26. The Dow is down 0.36. ES down 0.38. The relative weak one is the Nasdaq, which has continued to be relatively weak. It's down 0.49. Silver, the more volatile metal, is down 0.75. All right, moving on to the Mag 7 Plus. Let's look at that. There is some news here. AMD is the little leader here, up 0.88. All right, followed by Tesla, up 0.57. Followed by Coinbase. Okay, followed by Boeing. Now, we got some laggards here. We have Google's down 0.45, Netflix down 0.49. I just saw it got a price target raise, but it's down 0.49. Broadcom down 0.6. Well, moved it on me, 0.68. Apple got a downgrade today, and they're basically not enthusiastic about the new iPhone 16, iPhone 17. They're down 1.02%. Amazon also got a downgrade, so they are down 1.44%. All right, that's just looking at those. Let's go to the top sector stocks. And Chevron just sold. We'll get into that in a second. Stake in something. I forget what it was, but it's like $6.5 billion. Which, the war going on, crude rising is going to help Chevron, right? And Exxon. So they are both up 1.07, 1.06. Eli Lilly up 0.21. Now, laggards here. Basically, Salesforce, Qualcomm, Semi, down 0.39. Let's go to the swing trade list. Whoa. I don't know what just happened, but those alarms are large lot orders. All right. I don't know what just happened. That could have been crude. That could have been the Nasdaq or the ES. I don't know, but pretty large orders hit the tape. All right. Let's look at the Twilio. All right. Twilio's up 2.96, and then we have Las Vegas Sands. So China stimulus is really working here. So Las Vegas Sands, Alibaba up 2.37%, Win again 2.05, and then you got Riot, Bitcoin related, MicroStrategy, Bitcoin related, Donald Trump 1.52, Devon Energy got an upgrade, and Occidental Petroleum. So those are some energy stocks getting some love. All right, now laggard, who we got? Garmin down 3.55. Domino's Pizza down 1.78. Lennar Home Builder down 1.51. Sherman, I believe this is Sherman Williams, is down 1.16. And American Express is down 1%. And Palantir down 0.90. All right, that rounds out those. All right. Let's move on to the guts. Sectors. Who's leading the pack? Energy. No surprise there, up 0.72. Up 0.72. All right, so, and who do we have lagging at the bottom here? We have utilities down 0.20, communications down 0.21, discretionary 0.42. That's your Tesla, your Amazon, but that's Amazon, right? Technology, that's your Apple. Okay. is down, and I believe that's Broadcom. So down 0.45. That's the heaviest weighted sector in the S&P 500. All right, so that's pretty important. And when I did my analysis over the weekend of sectors, I'll let you know what that is. We'll go over that in a second. Okay. Now we can move over to some economic calendar and news. So give me 1 second while I bring that up. We'll go over to the economic calendar. Let's do that. Here we are. All right. So we got Fed speak this week. All right. So a bunch of Fed speak today. Fed Bowman, Fed Kashkari, Fed Bostic, Fed Musalam. All right. Tomorrow, Fed Kugler, Fed Bostic, Fed Collins, Fed Jefferson. Wednesday, Fed Logan, Fed Barkin, Fed Goolsbee, Fed Logan, Fed Williams, Fed Barkin, Fed Jefferson. Then you got a 10-year auction. All right, that should be interesting to see on at 1 p.m. on Wednesday, followed by FOMC minutes. Okay, then Fed Collins, Fed Daily. Then Thursday you have CPI, and um, initial jobless claims, Fed Cook, in a 30-year bond auction at 1 p.m. And then Friday, you have PPI and Michigan Consumer Sentiment, followed by Fed Goolsbee and Bowman. So that's the week this week. Okay. Now, let you guys know, I will be going on vacation, so I will not be here on Thursday and Friday. So I'll be back the following Monday. All right. And what do we have here? So that's what's going on with the calendar. Let's look at some news here. All right. So it looks like Pfizer stock rose 3.4 after Bloomberg reported the activist investor Starboard Value has taken a stake in about $1 billion in the drugs giant. Apple stock fell 1.4 after Jefferies analysts downgraded its investment stance on the iPhone maker to a hold from revise, citing concerns about the overestimated market expectations for the upcoming iPhone 16 and 17 models. Netflix stock fell 0.8 after Barclays downgraded the streaming giant to underweight from equal weight. Amazon stock fell 1.8 after Wells Fargo downgraded the online retail giant to equal weight from overweight. And then the stock HIMS stock rose 5.4 on the news that the telehealth group is indicated to join the S&P Small Cap 600, replacing fourth largest American cigarette maker Vector Group. And let's see, Mullen Automotive stock fell 4% after the maker of the commercial electric vehicles announced cost cuts that included 20% reduction in headcount. All right, that's what's going on there. What else do we have here? I don't think there's anything I can add from this. We've already talked about this news. All right, so I don't really need to get into that. I think we can get into, let's just get into the daily charts here. And we'll talk about some of that sector analysis real quick. Let's do that together. Anybody joining me today? Not sure. Haven't seen some K traders, some Pancake, some Muhammad, some G-Man, some Rosita, Luis. I don't know what happened to you guys. But like I said, I do this regardless. So, oh, there's Chief. There's Chief. She's there. Busy girl. All right, let's look at daily charts. We're just in balance here, folks. From about 574 to like 565. And you broke this 2-day balance here, right there. All right, so where are we at now? We are at 570. Let's call it 570.90. 570.90? Yeah, 570.88. Yeah, let's see. We're right about close to the middle of the range of Friday, which is horrible location. All right. Let's look at the live look of futures. Oh, we can just look at this. So last week, what did we do? We stayed inside the last week's previous range. Those orange lines are the previous week. So we were inside last week's range, the previous week's range. Okay. Let's go to the futures. And look at this long balance. 57.60 basically is the mean. So just balancing. Now you can see these candles were smaller. The candles have gotten bigger. The ranges have gotten larger. Okay. So, broke this high, came all the way back down to here. Who knows what's going to happen today? Like I said, election is looming. October seasonally bearish. Who knows what's going to happen? All right. I don't know. Nobody does. Qs. So the Qs had a nice, came down all the way to here, and then boom, the little hammer candle here, right, on Friday. Came up to this resistance basically of 488 maybe, right there. Right now we're at 45, 45.15, 45.15, right about here. So you're in the middle of Friday. Like I said, not a good area to be in. All right, not a good area. Now, of course, look at the orange candles, right in the middle of the week, the previous week's range. Okay, let's look at the live look of futures. Yeah, so this resistance just cannot be broken yet, right? So we came up, held in that 90 MA on the daily. Now we have kind of like a weak high here. We'll talk about later. Okay, so that's what's going on in the Nasdaq. All right, that's what's really going on. Now we can get into some sector analysis really quickly. All right, let me pull those up. Let's go to that. All right, so let's look at XLF. Financials is the second largest sector weighting in the S&P 500. Okay, look at this chart. So XLF pulled back, consolidated. Now look, it's going to all-time highs here. 45.88 is a very key resistance level. So this is looking to break, right? So that's the financials. That's what financials looks like, right? Now look at healthcare. Healthcare is the third largest weighted sector in the S&P 500, and that's been in a downtrend. Let's go to my trend lines here. That's been in a downtrend, right? Look, it's pulling back. So this is what's causing the markets to act kind of a little weird, right? Because if the third largest weighted sector in the markets is downtrending, right? And in the financials, the second, and that looks like it's going to be breaking up to all-time highs, right? So that's a little bit of a fight, right? We can look at the largest weighted. Let's look at that. All right. It's actually been relatively weak, but look at the XLK. So the big level in the XLK is right here, around 227, 228. So what do? Pulled back, and we're just here. This is why this market is explaining it here. This is the story. That's why I call it the guts, right? Let's look at XLY. Less discretion at your Amazon, your Tesla, your Home Depot. Look, that came up, pulled back, but it's coiling up. Okay, it's kind of imbalanced. You can see it right here. That's ready to make a move. We have to see. Then you got communications. Okay, that's your Google, your Meta. Look at this, pushing right up at all-time highs, right here, at like basically 91. That's your like Meta, Google. Okay, Meta's been on a tear. All right. So it's another one going towards all-time highs, right? So XLK relatively weak. That's the largest, right? Then we got financials getting ready to bust out of all-time highs. Then you got downtrending healthcare, right? I just showed you XLY that pulled back and it's kind of coiling. This is explaining why this market is like this. XLC is at all-time highs, right? Let's look at industrials. Industrials is coiling at all-time highs. It's just balancing at all-time highs, okay? And now to round it out a little bit, just to give you an example of when the Fed, when unemployment went up that 1 month, okay? That's when staples went up here. But look at Staples. Now, Staples is in a downtrend, right? This is defensive. That's pulling back, right? Staples pulling back. And then we have energy. Look at energy. Energy was in a downtrend, and now with the help of this war, is starting to push up. But that doesn't move markets. I'm just showing you guys what it looks like. Now, if you get little tiny sectors here, like basic materials, that's also pulling back. See, it's pulling back. These went up when unemployment, they were really kind of rocketing, and also real estate, right? There's real estate. Real estate's pulling back. Okay, so that's why this market's kind of like a little, you know, XLK is the largest, and that's not strong right now, right? Financials are strong, communications is strong, industrials are strong. Okay, just wanted to give you guys that. Now, that's a little sidebar. We can go right into the triple-headed monster now. Look at that crazy 10-year yield, because that is rising up to 4%. Okay, we're at that resistance that I talked about here in the bond market. It broke the 3.9. Now it's up to the 4. What do we do here? What do we do here? That means people are selling the 10-year yield notes. Selling. It's causing the yields to rise. Now, this could be profit-taking moment for the bond market. We'll have to see. All right, we'll have to see. But let's start your triple-headed monster right here. Now let's go into your dollar. And the dollar is rising today. Look at that rise. It's rising with the 10-year yield. So look at that. It was in this range. I said now it's busting out of here, right? So now, interesting, usually a strong dollar is not great for equities. Okay, not usually great for commodities. Okay, just letting you know. So we'll have to see, right? That just means the euro is going down, the yen is going down. So keep an eye on that. So the dollar just couldn't go under $100. All right, let's look at the VIX. The VIX, again, what is it? What do we talk about that VIX? A VIX is 30 days out of fear. 30 days out of fear. We're at a 21 VIX, okay? 21. We have an election coming. So a 21 VIX, a 16 VIX is a 1% expected move plus or minus the S&P 500. We're at a 21. So we should get great movement today. We have good relative volume as well. All right. So that wraps that up. All right. I hope. Let's see here. We're going to go into the main event now. That's our marker profile, our volume profile. Let me get my marker out and see this crazy market that we got here. Here we are. All right. Now we always start with structure, right? We always start with structure. Here's our volume profile for the rolling week. Looks pretty balanced. Okay, so you got, remember, the highlight is value. That just means 70% of the trading volume happened in that area. So pretty balanced, right? Price is here. 5777.75. That's where price is. You are in the middle of Friday's session. Right here's the midpoint. So really not a great location to be in right now. Not at all. Okay. Now, to look up what we did on Friday. Okay, so you have single prints here. The elephant on a stick. So Elfie, right here, came into play. He came into play. That toothpick could not hold up that elephant. So when the overnight session closed here, opened here, it went up a little bit, and then whoop, came all the way back down to here. Got rid of all this poor structure. So then it was like, okay, that move's canceled out. But then guess what happened? We just chugged and chugged and chugged along and closed up here, right there. So crazy market. Usually when you give back all those gains, you don't think you're going to come right back up there. So what happens? At 6 o'clock on Sunday, look, we open here. Looks like we went up a little bit. And then boom, all the way back down to this big level. The big level, ultimate balance, 5760. That's the big level, okay? Above this level, you got to be bullish. Below it, you got to be bearish. 5760, it's ultimate balance. The most traded price of the week and the month is 5760. Okay, so structure-wise, you're above it, you're bullish. But look at the problem here. Not the problem, but like, look. Here's one high. Here's another high. Here's another high. Here's another high. You have not been able to break that level. Let's just round it off at like 58.10, 58.08 to 58.10. That has been resistance. Okay? That has been resistance. And you can see right here is the month-to-date VWAP. This is October. This is VWAP right there. That was supportive today. All right. So that VWAP's resting right on ultimate balance. So that makes that level even stronger. Okay. 5760 is the month-to-date VWAP and its ultimate balance. Okay. Now let's look at overnight inventory. We have this much long activity to this much short. You're about 90% net short, but price is at the middle of the range, so it doesn't really give us an edge. Okay, doesn't really give us an edge, but it's pretty simple right now. You got pretty simple levels to look at. Okay, pretty simple. Now it's going to be all about really the 5804 to 58, what is that, 08. You got weak highs up here. That's supply, right? And then it's really all about the 5760 ultimate balance level. That's it. Okay. Remember, underneath this level's bearish. Now, again, what I mean underneath it, like staying underneath it, okay? Above it, it's bullish. But we're just in this area, okay? Now, think about what's coming up this week. We have CPI, PPI, FOMC minutes. So sometimes, like especially in this environment that we're in, is we're not trending anywhere. We do a lot of fake out moves, right? Like I said, my theory is elections coming. No big money really want to be overly long or overly short before the election. That's just my theory, okay? That seems to be playing out. So we got more data coming out this week. And do you want to be overly long or overly short before the data? That's the market's telling us they don't want to be. So that's all you can do is follow what the market's doing. All right, so let's get right into the scenarios, okay? It's pretty easy today. Pretty easy. Let's do it. All right, why don't we go with the bull first? All right, so basically, all I care about is you got ultimate balance 5760. We do have a demand zone here, which includes Friday's lows. All I want to do, can you defend this, bulls? You got the month-to-day view up, like I said, right at 5760. What do you do when you come down here? Do you defend it? Right? So all I want to see is if we come down here, you could very perfectly go to overnight lows and boop, bounce right off, go right back and test these highs. And you got supply there. You have to work off that supply, but could we go up to 58.30 today? I don't know. Possible. Okay. What else can this look like? Come down here, make everybody nervous, go through 57.60, go to the Friday's low 57.49.75, and let's see what we do here. What do we do? We could even do this. And now, if you're under this, you want to see this market rip above this level and hold it, and then gives me confidence to go long. I want to find acceptance over it. I don't want acceptance below 57.60. Now you also have another demand below it. So that's what I'm saying. It gets a little tricky. You need to like really hold down here to confirm some bearishness. Okay? So that's what I'm looking at. Okay? Now, on the bear side, what are we looking at? We do have supply here, and we do have supply here, and another supply. There's a lot of overhead supply. Okay, so same thing. All right, we're going to talk about two different things in the bear scenario. Okay, so firstly, if we come up into this supply, of course, we can go right back to the mean 57.60, and we have to test these levels. All right, what I would like to see, you have to see some type of break in that demand, right? Maybe coming back, breaking this demand. And if we're just holding and holding and holding, then you can go back to 5,700. But you need to find acceptance under that level. Okay, you don't visit it a little bit and then rip above it. That's not acceptance. Okay. Now, the other thing that could happen is, of course, we can go to this weak high or up here, 5808, push through it and do the same thing. Okay. And you just have to see, what do we do with 5760? And we can go down. All right. Now, obviously, we also can just come right back down here. Same thing though. It's the same stuff. I want to see these busted through these demands, and even if we come back here and hold, then we can possibly go to 5,700. So that's really all I'm looking for today. Okay. And again, the data that I don't know is when the market opens. I don't know who's going to be leading, who's going to be lagging. I don't know. So, nobody knows that until the market opens. All right. That is our ES. That is our ES. Okay. Let's go to our NASDAQ. And the NASDAQ's got a weak high there, boy. Let's look at that together. All right. Let's look at structure together. Pretty decently balanced profile here. Value areas right here, followed by this. All right, so a big level here. It's a composite high volume node right here, but you don't even need this high volume node here, but you can just see how it's been resistant, right? It's been resistant. So the level's 20250. 20250 is a high volume node. All right, that has been resistant for the NASDAQ. Okay, so the level, to be exact, the week high would be 202.63, let's call it. The NASDAQ has not been able to break that level. That's like the 5808 in ES. Okay? Just hasn't been able to break it. Okay? Now, what's the big level in the NASDAQ? What's ultimate balance in the NASDAQ? That level is 250 right here. It's the most traded price of the week and the month. That's 20050. Write it down. That's the big level. That's the bull bear line. Price is above it. We're at 201.41 right now. And again, look, we're in the middle of Friday. Horrible trade location. Horrible. Okay. You're in the middle of Friday? No, thank you. Okay. We know the playground. It's here and it's here. That's the playground we're looking at. That's all I'm interested in. Those areas getting tested. It's really all it comes down to. All right. Overnight inventory, there's no edge there. All right. We got a month-to-day VWAP that's at 20029. That's right here. That's in ultimate balance, just like the ES. Just like the ES. So this is very similar. You have two demand zones, big demand zones down below ultimate balance. So that's going to be tough to just cut through. Okay. Now, don't get me wrong. A super weak market can cut through anything. But generally, the way this market's been, I don't see that's going to get cut through like hot knife through butter. It's not. All right. So pretty easy again. There's not much detail in this today. It's pretty simple. Okay. You avoid chop. You want to avoid chop? You avoid this little area here in the middle, this pocket. Okay. You want to see some establishment here. And what does that mean? Right? But if we come down here and you're bearish, you want to see us hold below the ultimate balance, right? And if you're bullish and we come down here, you want to see it hold that level to see if we can go up to here. And then what do we want to see here? You want to see it break it and hold it to go higher. If it can't hold higher, find acceptance, we're just going to play in this area. This is how this market's been working. I mean, look at this. I mean, you drop down, you think you're going lower, then we go higher on non-farm payrolls, then we take that back move all the way that move to here, then we go back to the highs, and now we're in the overnight, and it went all the way back down here. So that's how crazy what we're doing right now is. And in the reality, all we did is go up, we go down, we go up, we go down. All right? No trending. There's not trending at all. So let's just get right into it. It's pretty easy. It is pretty easy today. All right, let's talk about it. Let's do it. It's the NASDAQ. We'll start off with the longs. Okay? And right here, ultimate balance 250, right there. This area, buyers got to step up. You got a month-to-day VWAP at 200, 229. Okay, ultimate balance 250. I want to see what happens if we test this area. That's all I want to come down here. What do? We can just bounce right off and test the 200, 250 high volume node and that weak high 200 and 263. Can we bust through it and hold and hold and hold and maybe try to take out these single prints and go up to 204? Do I think that's going to happen? I have no clue. But you have to look at it like that. Okay. Also, we can come down here real quick, probably have a bear trap. And if we recover, boop, 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 then you do the same thing. Can we do this? Don't know. So that's really all I'd be looking for. Now, of course, can we come all the way down here and let's just say the market isn't super weak and it's kind of like a liquidation break out of nowhere, we can recover as well. We can also boom and come right back to this mean. Okay? So that's the long. Now the short, right? What is it? Well, we have supply here. We have supply here. A lot of overhead supply again, right? We have that weak high, 202.63, right here. So that's our area, right in here. What do sellers do? The bears need to defend this area. Okay? They need to defend it. So what do I want to see? Okay? So if we do manage to come up here, what does the market do here? It's been resistant so many times. What if we get a little bull trap here? Boop. And then lower high, lower high. We're going to come back. We're going to revisit ultimate balance, 250. Now, like I said, there's a lot of volume here. This is not poor structure. So it's going to take a lot to churn through this. But if you did churn through it, you could hold, and you'd probably have to churn through this and then possibly come down to the 197. And of course, we can always just come straight down here and do that and see what happens, right? But that's all I'm looking for. I mean, it's as simple as it gets. Okay? You just have to be patient and don't think you're an all-star in this area because we probably get chopped. You probably get chopped to death there. Okay? That's it, folks. That's it for today. All right? Hopefully you enjoyed that. All right? Now, hopefully you can come join me every day, 8, 10 a.m. Have a cup of coffee, join me, and just get the summary. Why do it yourself? I do it every day. All right? Do the summary. All right? Give me a smash that like button. All right? If you enjoyed the content, of course, you can follow me on X. That's at Gonzo719. Okay? At Gonzo719. And you can follow me on TikTok at Gonzo719Trader. Like I said, check out my trades. Check out YouTube Shorts. All right? Now, that's our plan today, folks. That's our plan. Stay green. No trade is a trade. Monday, sit back, let information come in, and then put risk on if needed and your setup is there. All right? Everybody have a great day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.